The topic of today's technical session is high altitude area engineers. This topic will be covered in two parts, part 1 general and part 2 services. Part 1 will be covered in following sequence: definition, challenges for engineers, planning and execution of works. Definition of high altitude area. In army, the place whose altitude is more than 9,000 feet is categorized as high altitude. HA1 is 9,000 to 12,000 feet, HA2 12,000 to 15,000 feet, HA3 15,000 to 18,000 feet, and more than 18,000 feet is extremely hazardous. Few places in India above 9,000 feet altitude are Leh at 11,480 feet, Ladakh district, Sikkim, Uttarakhand, Arunachal Pradesh and Kashmir. Siachen Glacier, which is being guarded by Indian Army, is at 21,000 feet, and if you have to go to Thois, you have to cross the highest motorable road, Khardungla Pass, at 17,582 feet. The design temperature range for Leh area is minus 30 degrees to plus 30 degrees, so a range of 60 degrees Celsius. This much range is not available in any part of India, which itself speaks about what challenges engineers have to face in Leh area. Effects of HAA. To survive any population in any area, the direct government organizations and public is there, and to support them, other contractors, laborers come to those areas. So the direct effect of the severe climate is buildings are damaged, equipments are damaged, plants and processes are damaged. And indirect effects are the workforce has difficulty to work, their hired equipment can't reach to the site, they get easily damaged, there are problems in external services also. The challenges for engineers in HAA are: every winter access road get blocked due to heavy rainfall, so we are cut off from the entire India and have to do our jobs with limited resources and manpower. Water supply and sewage disposal freezes in winter. There is a problem in doing any bituminous carpeting work or carry out concreting in winter area. These works are not feasible in that temperature. Central heating system to make the accommodations habitable need to run throughout the winters. No electric supply is there from the national grid, though in Leh city and few areas it has come in 2019, but most of the area in Ladakh district is still dependent on standby supply through DG sets. There is low performance and damage of plant and equipment due to severe climate. Communication, be it physical or telephonic, is disrupted. People can move from one location to another through advanced transportation means, but the other equipment, machinery, raw material cannot reach to the remote locations at a fast pace. There is certainly a deterioration of health to man and machine both due to low oxygen, hence low outputs are there. Whenever any executive is posted to Leh, this is a new chapter to him which is never being taught in any of the college during his degree. So, the training of manpower, executives such as GE, AG and JE is a very much required there. Health of the work services depend on 1 week induction training if it is conducted well in those areas. They should be taught about following aspects. First, climatic variations from minus 30 to plus 30 degree. The effects of these variations on the structures can be taught. Induction of manpower and material at the start of the working season is very important, because any waste of time at the start of the working season will result in delay of the entire project by 8 months. CHS, working mechanism should be explained. Like whenever any CHS has to commence, there is summer and winter testing of the CHS. Usually contractors try to club both the testing at the start of the winter season, because as per tender that is acceptable, but it is a duty of the executives to ensure that winter test is conducted at the time of severest winters when the temperature is of the tune of minus 25 degrees Celsius. Water supply operationality and drain out mechanism to be explained to every executive. Procedure for emergent procurement of stores need to be taught to them, because in case of emergency, instead of getting panic, they can always rely with the Air Force for immediate induction of any resources if required in emergency, storing up of the maintenance items to maintain the buildings for army personnel who are living there throughout the winter season, and DG set peculiarity such as dealing with gelling of diesel and not starting in winter season. There are no third party testing labs available in Leh area, so government agencies have to make their own labs duly calibrated to take the test results. The execution of work goes in the following flowchart. When the work is sanctioned, then tender is finalized and it is tried to be executed within PDC. For this, three major items are required: machinery, logistics, qualified contractor and access to quality materials. Now all these three requirements are hampered in Leh area. Equipment get damaged easily, so you will get equipment which is already weared. You will not get the qualified contractors. You will not get the qualified contractors because they will be interested to work in comfortable environment. What you are left with is non-professional local contractors, and material prices are very high there. That is why the quality material might not be purchased by the contractor. This all lead to increase in project cost, delay in completion and quality issues. And with the rider of limited working season, engineers have no option to stop the work for even 10 days, because stopping the work for 10 days will result in delay of 10 months. Planning and execution of works. PDC should be finalized at the time of board of officers and tender stage, considering non-working season. Otherwise, every contractor will always ask for extensions on the ground of non-working season. But if this clause is already incorporated during the drafting stages, then this reason is deleted. Consider alternative construction methodologies such as precast concrete construction, puff shelters and package STP plants. Puff shelters in Leh area are very effective against the temperature insulation also. Detailed material and labor induction plan and fortnightly monitoring is very much required by the executive to ensure that work completes on time. For this, executives have to understand the transport network from which material comes to the location. For example, the route of Leh from Manali is about 1000 kilometers and from Srinagar it is 1250 kilometers. So, being the shorter Manali route, all the contractors prefer to bring their material through Manali, but that route is often blocked at Rohtang Pass, resulting in delay in arrival of raw materials to the working site. So, executive has to govern from which route material should come. After assessing all the things, CPM need to be updated fortnightly, duly marking what all activities are not done as per CPM, which major activities need to be shifted so that those activities are completed before the commencement of non-working season. It is also the responsibility of the executive to track the weather and reschedule suitable tasks in anticipation of bad weather, because the Leh is always windy in evenings. Modify your construction working times and holidays in line with weather. For example, you can increase the number of shifts in between the working season where the temperatures are comfortable, and at the start and end of working season they can be reduced to normal working hours. Protection of concrete from freezing in 24 hours. If the concrete is laid and it is not protected against the fast winds, it will result in freezing of water in severe climate. So, you can always place a tarpaulin over the newly cast concrete to preserve it from the direct impact of the cold wind. For PVC conduit pipes and cable, you will face problem of cracking in early mornings and evenings. So, this work need to be done at noon. Executives need to ensure that whatever workforce is employed on the site is having a proper gear, because if they are not comfortable to work in this climate, then efficiency can never be achieved. Prepare your project before severe weather strikes, such as a storm warning is there, then all the loose material, empty tanks on the roof should be brought down or they should be fastened. One example I will give, in our project there are about 3500 windows. Out of this, contractor has installed glasses in about 400 windows, though the tower volt is not fixed by him. One fine day, all the shutters of window were striking with the frame, resulting in breakage of glass of about 50 windows. So, these are the small precautions which executives need to see. Apart from this, being so remote location, proactive sample approval by the executives is the key to the progress of the work. For example, in case of wire gauge shutter, when the sample comes, it took 30 days for the sample to arrive on the site. And after that, there were many issues like the wire gauge is not proper, vertical stiffeners are not provided, sun mica is not provided. So what we decided is, we communicated with the manufacturer on photographs, videos and telephonic calls to approve the sample, and finally the lot came to us within 15 to 20 days. So I'll summarize this presentation with a quote that not all the classrooms have 4 walls, and Leh is certainly one of them. Thank you.